Okay. Hello. So, I had a parent come and talk to me the other day, and she said to me, I know it's my fault that my child's a perfectionist. She's like, I know it's me. I know that I'm a total perfectionist, and she got that from me. And I just feel so bad because I really didn't want that for her. And so many of the kids that I work with have perfectionistic tendencies. They don't like to get answers wrong. They want to be right on the first try. So I want to first of all define perfectionism. Perfectionism is not wanting to get things right, which is something that a lot of us want. It's not that. Perfectionism is wanting to get something right on the first try. I know because that's me, right? If I do something poorly and then I figure out how to do it better and then I get it right later on, I'm still upset that I didn't get it right first. So now that we have that definition, perfectionism is really wanting to get something right on the first try and not just wanting to be right, right? Well, what did I say back to that mother who was like, I know she's a perfectionist because of me, and all of that kind of guilt and worry that can come with that? First of all, sure, maybe she's a perfectionist because of you, just like, she brushes her teeth in circles because you do, and just like she's really smart because of you, and just like she is kind to strangers because you're kind to strangers, and just like she puts the straw in the side of her mouth and not in the middle of her mouth because that's how suck on your iced coffee. So yeah, maybe she's a perfectionist because of you. You are the biggest influence in your child's life. I want to also posit a few other reasons that I see kids develop perfectionistic tendencies. First of all, in school and in the school setting, there are so many competing priorities. And what often ends up happening is that right on the first try matters a lot in school, and actually a lot more than almost anything else. Right on the first try matters on a test, right? Like you'll almost never see a retest in elementary school. You just got the spelling test right, or you got the answers wrong, and then you move on to the next week and you're not given a chance to try again. Or the teacher is calling on a student in the class and she's like, okay, would you like to read, Talia, would you like to read that word? And then I read the word and I read it wrong, which happened to me all the time, especially when I was in Hebrew class. I would read it wrong and she'd be like, no, that's not it. And then, freaking Jamie in the back of the room would shoot up his hand and he'd be like, oh yeah, the word is this. And then you're like, great, Jamie, good job for you, but I got it wrong on the first try and I'm left feeling like, I didn't get that right on the first try. So there's that, right? School really emphasizes right on the first try. And then what about in soccer practice where our kids are lining up to shoot, to kick the ball into the goal, and you get to the front of the line and you get that one kick and it goes sideways. You don't get another try. You got to go to the back of the line. And that was your one try, right? Until all the other kids go again. And then maybe you'll get a second try. So right on the first try is emphasized almost everywhere outside of a kid's home, especially in early elementary school, soccer practice, classroom, after school, recess, like you get one chance and then you're done and then you move on to the next thing. So right on the first try, if we're defining perfectionism that way, which I think we should, because we don't mean just wanting to do things well, we mean wanting to do things well initially and not giving ourselves a chance to kind of make it better. If we're defining perfectionism that way, your kid is getting that everywhere. They're getting, you must be right on the first try everywhere in school and everywhere in soccer practice. And guess what? You're not the soccer coach and you're not the teacher. So if your kid is a perfectionist because of you, beautiful. How wonderful. What a great opportunity, because you're not going to change how things are done in the classroom that much, and you're not going to change how things are done at soccer practice that much, but you could change what happens at home. And that starts with you and your own kind of influence. So the way that I work with parents on this inside of the Resilient Reader program is really working on their own noticing when something takes 2 or 3 tries to get right, right? Because sometimes I send an email to a client and I have something that's misspelled in there. I forgot to attach an attachment. And I just respond with like, oops, I forgot to attach the attachment. And they're like, okay, no big deal. And then I forget about it. And sometimes I respond with, oops, forgot to attach the attachment. Here it is. And then I like wake up the next morning thinking about it, like being like, oh, that was so dumb. Why did I not just do it right the first time? And then I'm like, later in the day, I'm just like eating my lunch and I get like a cringe, right? Like that happens to all of us. I am so hard on myself, and I know that I'm not alone when I get something wrong on the first try. So we really work on noticing when things take 2 or 3 tries and then saying, oh, okay, I had to do that wrong before I could do it right. And just noticing that, noticing how we talk about ourselves at work, like, oh, I really messed up at work today. How can we change that narrative? And this is the most impactful thing that I have parents do around this is, and I would love if you're watching this and you've got kids at home to really try this, is to actually play with talking to another adult in the room about something that you just messed up on. Just messed up, and maybe it got better and maybe it didn't. But talking to another adult in the room. There are so many brain scan images, and you don't need a brain scan image to tell you this, but it's true that this is a real phenomenon. There are so many brain scan images that show different parts of the kid's brain light up when they're listening in to an adult, like a conversation between 2 adults or 2 caregivers, that don't light up when you're talking directly to them. And we know that, like, if you've been around a 7-year-old who like pretends like they're not paying attention when you're saying something that you don't want them to hear, and then you realize that they heard it, right? We know that to be true. So let's use that to our advantage. When we have a perfectionistic kid, one thing that is highly effective is talking to another adult about something that you messed up on, and having them just give you compassion and giving yourself some compassion, and just doing it around your kid. Do not then turn to them and be like, see, we all make mistakes, but really just let it be, let it sit there, and let it be true for you. Absorb that in, just say, I don't have to get things right on the first try. If your kid is a perfectionist because you are a perfectionist, it is a beautiful, actually like really powerful and wonderful opportunity for you to take some of that off of your own, take some of that pressure off of yourself, and therefore relieve some of that pressure for your child. So let me know how that goes. And congratulations on being such a big and beautiful influence on your kid's life that you have a chance to make this a little bit easier for them. I will see you soon.